who lived on the edge of a huge forest. The person she loved most in all the world was her grandmother, whose cottage was further along the forest path. One day, the old lady sent her granddaughter a beautiful red cape with a hood. The little girl loved it so much that she would not take it off, so that's why everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, Little Red Riding Hood's mother heard that the grandmother was not feeling well. "Run along the forest path with this basket of food, Little Red Riding Hood," she said. "Your grandmother will feel better as soon as she sees you." In no time at all, the little girl was ready to set off. She was wearing her red cape, of course. "Now just remember," warned her mother, "you must go straight there and don't stop for anything." "Don't worry," Little Red Riding Hood smiled, and off she went. Now Little Red Riding Hood had not gone very far down the path when out of the tree stepped a very large wolf. "Why, Little Red Riding Hood," he said, "where are you off to in such a hurry?" The little girl answered politely, "I'm going to see my grandmother, but I'm afraid I cannot stop to talk." And down she went. But when she was halfway to her grandmother's house, Little Red Riding Hood was surprised to see the same wolf leaning against a tree. "I was just thinking, dear child," he said, "how nice it would be to take your grandmother some of the beautiful flowers that bloom by the path." But it did seem to be a good idea, so Little Red Riding Hood stopped to gather the flowers. And when she looked up, the wolf was gone. But in his place were 3 of her friends, who had come to ask if she could play. But she shook her head, saying she must go see her grandmother, and left. It was rather late by the time that Little Red Riding Hood knocked on her grandmother's door. "Come in," called a gruff voice. "Poor grandmother, you don't sound well at all," cried the little girl. Inside the cottage, Little Red Riding Hood tiptoed towards her grandmother's bed. The old lady did not look very well either. "Why, grandmother," gasped the granddaughter not very politely, "what big ears you have!" "The better to hear you with," croaked the invalid. Little Red Riding Hood crept closer still. "Oh, grandmother, what big eyes you have!" she cried in surprise. "The better to see you with," growled the figure in the big bed. Little Red Riding Hood took one more step and had a dreadful shock. "Oh, grandmother, what big teeth you have!" "The better to eat you with," roared the wolf, jumping from the bed. But just as the wolf was about to eat Little Red Riding Hood up in one enormous bite, some passing huntsmen who had heard the noise rushed into the cottage. "Ah," they cried, "we've been looking for you, Mr. Wolf. Wait till we get our hands on you." And they chased the wolf right out of the cottage and into the trees. Little Red Riding